All right, folks, welcome back to the TNT show. Shout out to the Ohio State Buckeyes. They claimed the inaugural 12 team playoff championship. Um, Obviously, I'm not going to take the shot that everybody else is because it's a level playing field. Everybody's buying rosters at this point. So, yeah, they bought their roster, but at least it worked out for them.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be an argument of okay, well, how good were they really? Did they had to spend $20 million to build a super team just to win one national championship? But hey, if it works, it works.
Yeah, I
But it
mean,
can't be a fluke though. They're gonna have to compete every year, which they
Texas
should be able to.
Texas spent 20, what was it, 22, 23. Oregon spent like 22. So,
So, does that include Quinn Ewers?
well, I think just guys who came in, like guys who transferred in. That's what they're talking about when they saying they spent the money on the
I
roster.
didn't think Texas had that many transfers, but that could be. I guess so.
Yeah. No, I mean, they specifically two of them came from Alabama. One of them ended up transferring again, but Isaiah Bond, he was one of their bigger transfers who came in. I think they had a guy, the one of the receivers from I want to say it was Houston. He transferred in from Houston, Matthew Golden.
I must say, nowadays it's pay to win, just like just like it is in anything. You got to pay to win. Sometimes it works, in other instances it doesn't. You just got to hope that you're hitting home runs with these kids.
Pretty much.
Which Ohio State did it right. Will Howard was a pretty solid quarterback. Quinshon Judkins, I mean, led the SEC in rushing 2 years in a row. Caleb Downs, I mean, All American. It's obviously, those are just those are just the big names. Obviously, they had more, but, you know, those are heavy hitters.
Yeah.
But hats off to Notre Dame. They were on the verge of a blowout and kind of rallied back. I just think it's like we talked about. They did the one thing we said they could not do, and that was let Ohio State jump on them, and they did. They couldn't
Yeah,
stop them.
they couldn't.
Like, they came out first drive. It took them 10 minutes, 10 minutes to score a touchdown.
18 plays.
18, yeah, took almost the whole first quarter to score a touchdown. And Ohio State came out, they scored. It took them a minute too. It took like 12 plays. It was like a 7-minute drive. And then the next drive, Notre Dame went 3-and-out. And then Ohio State scored. And I was like, okay. So Notre Dame, what do they do again? They don't score. And Ohio State scored again. And it was pretty much a wrap from there. When they scored, when it was 28-7, it was pretty much over with. They didn't really stand a chance, to be honest.
Yeah,
That was a lot to ask.
like you said, you give them credit because they fought back. They made it a more respectable game, but it was it was too little, too late. You got down too big, too early. I mean,
Yep. They
too many
jumped
three and
on you.
outs.
They jumped on you, and they knew that you couldn't score. Not like that.
Exactly.
But it's like you said. After that 10-minute drive, it hit Ohio State. Okay, this is what they're going to try to do. We cannot let them, control this game. We've got to come out and we've got to punch them in the mouth. We got to score every time we get the ball. Because obviously Notre Dame, it was obvious what they were trying to do. They were trying to kill the clock. The first drive was 10 minutes.
Yeah,
If they did that every time, they would have the ball 3 times, 3 or 4 times.
yeah. That was really their game plan. Let's put together these long drives. Let's kill clock, and let's keep them off the board. But when you don't put together those drives every single time,
Yeah.
They're gonna get the ball. They're gonna score.
Yeah. Ohio State was too good of a team not to score. There's just too many weapons there.
Exactly.
I mean, they were getting cooked all around. Their defense just couldn't stop them.
Yeah.
Either
I mean,
anything Ohio State wanted to do, they could do. It's like you said, their defense. They were worried about those big explosive plays, but they were
yep.
still getting them. It was either in the pass game because Will Howard he might not have thrown for a bunch of yards, but he was torching that Notre Dame defense.
Yeah, I think he only missed like what 2 passes on the night
Um,
or something like that. I know he completed like 80% of his passes.
yeah, he was 17 of 21 for 231.
Yeah.
But I mean,
So
Riley Leonard, same thing 22, 31, 255, 2 touchdowns. They just got jumped on too fast. Ohio State did exactly what they did to Oregon. They jumped on them. They played defense.
yeah, they came out and after that first drive, after Notre Dame scored, they came out very aggressive.
When
They
they
weren't.
came out and scored right after halftime, because I was like, okay, Notre Dame cannot let them score, and they let them just go right down the field.
Yeah.
It was 31-7 with 7 minutes to go, or 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. It was 31-7. It was pretty much over with at that point. They scored. Riley Leonard threw a 34-yard pass to Jaden Greathouse, and then he threw another one to him in the fourth quarter, but it was too little, too late at that point because then you missed a field goal. I just went for it.
Should have. They didn't really have nothing to lose at that point.
Yeah, I mean, why are you kicking? I get it. I get why you kick the field goal. I guess to take the points. You don't really know what's going to happen because it was close. It was like it wasn't far. He
Yeah.
just
I
missed
mean,
it.
to be fair, if he would have made that field goal, Notre Dame they did get the ball back one more time. So it would have been 34 to
It would have been an
26.
8-point game. Yeah.
Yeah, so they would have had a legitimate shot, but I mean, it's one of those bang bang kind of calls. Of course, yeah, you want to take the points, but
This is the
man,
college football championship, man. This is for all the marbles. What are you kicking a field goal for?
exactly.
I mean, it would have been different if it would have been an 8-point game at that point in time. Like if
Exactly.
you were down 8, yeah, kick the field goal. Let's take the points. Let's stop them. I mean, either way, you'd have to score, but you'd have to score a touchdown either way. But I don't know. Hats off to Notre Dame; they made it this far. But again, like you said, Ohio State was just the better team. They did
Yep.
exactly what they were supposed to do. I think it's like we talked about. That first drive told Ohio State everything they needed to know. Because I think if Ohio State doesn't score after that, 18 play, 10-minute drive, because it took them 11 plays and 6 minutes to score. And
Yeah.
then Notre Dame went 3-and-out. And then they scored again. They went 3-and-out, they scored again. So Notre Dame's problem was they just couldn't move the ball. But that's how good Ohio State's defense was. I mean, they did old Texas. They got a pretty good offense, and they did collapse Oregon, which so. But we'll see. We'll see how it translates going into next year. Can they? They lose a lot. They lose a lot. Is Will Howard? He has to go pro, right? He's been in college for 10 years. He's got to go pro, right?
Yeah.
Quinshon Judkins is going pro. Travian Henderson
Hmm.
is going pro. They've been in college for 5 years. I mean, that's majority of their offense right there. That's 3 heavy hitters. Caleb Downs doesn't have to go pro, does he?
Nah, he's just a sophomore.
Yeah, he's just I knew he was young. But yeah, they lose a lot, so they're gonna have to. But like you said, they got a lot of money for winning the national championship. So
Not a bunch, because they gotta split that between the other Big Ten schools. And it's like what 12 teams or something like that.
well,
However many teams.
they'll probably get majority.
No, they said it's supposed to be split evenly between all the teams. They
It
don't just.
is. Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. I was looking into it. I seen something about that.
Well, obviously they got money, so
Notre Dame got 20 mil too.
yeah, and they don't have to split it. They're not in the conference, so they actually legit got $20 million.
They can go build the best roster they want.
Yeah, yeah. Well. I don't know if you can or not because some of these people, what they be asking for is $20 million. So
Uh,
because Riley Leonard, I think he's got to go pro.
I think he still has another year.
I don't know if he does or not. College nowadays is so weird. I can't keep up with it because you can transfer 14 times and get 9 years of eligibility. I don't know what you can and can't do these days.
Yeah, you can go 5 years, 5 schools.
So yeah, I mean now the weight is on your shoulders. Like, can you keep this up? Because when the college football playoffs first started, we were sitting right here. Ohio State just won, and they hadn't won one since then.
Nope.
So we'll see if it transitions. But nowadays, that's tough because, well, I say it's tough. You just won the national championship. So obviously, people are going to want to come play for you. Obviously. Obviously. But if you lose your key guys, you got to replace those. And I don't really know what their quarterback looks like behind Will Howard.
Well, there was the recruit they brought in, St. Clair, and there was another guy. Oh, Julian Sayin. Those are the only two guys aside from anybody else that they bring in that are considered to be. They said Julian Sayin is the favorite for the starting QB spot as far as right now goes. But yeah, they're losing. Two of their guys left. Devin Brown, he just committed to Cal, but he stayed
Yeah,
with
I
them
seen
throughout the
that.
championship.
Well, yeah, he wanted a
And
ring.
yeah, Aaron Nolan, he left. He had already left and went to South Carolina.
So, yeah, I think it's I think it meant a lot for Ryan Day, just because of people always say he couldn't win the big games, he can't win all this and all that. But hey, now you got it. Now it's on to next year. Hey, you won. That's great. But
Yeah.
take time, celebrate. But it's on to bigger and better things now. Now you gotta. Can you keep that momentum going? So
It's all on their QB play. What their QB play looks like next season is going to determine a lot. I
yeah,
would
because
think.
I think Ibuka. I'm not sure. I have to go look at their schedule and see who all the seniors and look at all that. But yeah, it was a good game though. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I turned it off when it was 31-7, but
Hilarious.
I mean, I'm not a fan of either team, so it didn't really mean anything for me. But yeah, when it hit 31-7, I just went ahead and turned it off because I kind of had a feeling it was going to get out of hand. But hey, Notre Dame started. I put it on once they started to come back,
Yeah, no, I did
but
too.
too little, too late, like you said. Just not enough there.
Yep. So,
But that officially wraps up college football till September. That's crazy because we were just sitting here. It feels like yesterday we were kicking off the week one. Now we're done.
I know they already dropped way too early favorites, but obviously we're going to leave our teams out of this. Who do you think is a way too early favorite to win next year?
Honestly, probably Ohio State if they build right. I mean, it depends on what they lose. I'd probably say, I mean, yeah, I'd probably say Ohio State depending on what they lost or what they lose.
This is probably gonna be way out of pocket, but I'm gonna say
Because all the small teams like Boise that was in here, dog, they're about to be irrelevant. They just lost Ashton Genty.
well,
They're
we
gonna
never
have to.
know.
That's gonna be tough to replace. But yeah,
You
they're in a weak conference. So
yeah, we never know what they're gonna look like.
aside from Ohio State, let me take them out of the equation because they did just win. Of course, they're going to be the favorite. Um,
I was gonna say Texas.
that's what I was going to say, but I haven't seen Arch Manning play.
Yes, you have. What are you talking about?
He played against almost.
You you still saw him play.
I could go out there and beat New Mexico State.
No, you could not.
Yes, I could. I could
No,
go out
you
there and
couldn't.
do that.
No, you could not.
I mean, they played non-conference opponents.
Besides the point, like I said, Arch Manning is a good talent. So I think maybe he could be the one to take Texas back to the
Honestly,
promised
if
land.
you want me to be honest, maybe Miami because
Miami.
Carson Beck's going to do his thing at Miami.
Who is who's he gonna be
He
throwing the
is.
ball to?
I'm pretty sure they brought in a bunch of people. They have been here
I
lately.
mm, I don't know.
They'll load up for him.
I mean
I
he
don't know.
kind of
There's just so many teams. This ain't like the NFL. There's a million. There's 100 teams in college that could make a run. I don't know.
see. I just don't believe in Miami because their defense wasn't even good last year. I don't think it'll be that much better the next season.
I think Georgia might struggle a little.
You
I
think
don't
Georgia's
know.
gonna have a fall off?
No, because Kirby Smart's a good coach. Nah, he won't let that happen.
That's fair.
I don't know. There's too many teams in college football. There's 100 of them. You never know who's going to make that run. I could say
Exactly.
Liberty.
But that's why I said it's a way too early just to throw something out there. That's why I said Texas because Texas is. I don't really think they're losing a whole lot. They're bringing a lot of people back too.
Uh,
Then again, I could be wrong. I really don't know.
I mean, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I don't know. We'd have to look into that. That would be a great next episode of our way too early. You know, that way we can do some research and we're just not sitting here rambling. Now, if you want my biased answer,
LSU's not going to be a
no,
playoff team.
yeah, we will.
Let it
We're
go.
going to be a better playoff team than Alabama. Y'all don't even have a quarterback. Now, you want my dark horse? I think that could be kind of. I'm not saying they're going to win it all, but they could make a run.
Who?
Auburn.
Maybe.
They have loaded up,
Possible.
to be honest. If Jackson Arnold can play any way like he did towards the back half of the season, Auburn's going to be really good. They got a good defense. The offense is there. He's just got to get him the ball. They got a good offensive line. Auburn's usually a good team. They just had a unfortunate circumstance with Peyton Thorne. Because God, I think I'm better than him. If he makes an NFL team, I'm trying out for the NFL. He sucks.
Man, you gotta stop with that.
If he gets drafted and DJ, what's his last name? Whatever his last name is, if he gets drafted, I swear to God, I'm going to train
These
myself.
are these are D1 athletes.
I don't care what they are. They need to be D1 Wendy's,
You
make my double
you would
cheeseburger.
get you would get dusted on the field trying to roll
That's
with
fine.
them.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah. Come
I
on now.
can go out there and throw 5 picks. I can go
Let's
out
be
there and
real.
fumble the ball.
Let's just be real.
Make me Fansville, and give me $10 million like they gave DJ. I swear to God, I can go out there and throw 5 picks and look like a bum. I promise you I can do that. I promise you. I can do that. Oh, I can definitely throw it to the other team. For sure. 100%.
I mean, that's a given, though.
But if he gets drafted, I'm going to try out for the NFL. I swear, I'm not kidding. He won't get drafted, but he
Yeah, he'll
might.
more likely
You
go
never
undrafted.
know.
Then
You
again,
might.
he
You
might.
would be surprised.
If he
Hey, he
does,
could
it'll
come
be
out to
really
that
late.
combine. You could go out to that. He could go to the combine and just show out and look like the next big thing. I mean, it worked out for Anthony Richardson. He barely even played in college. He was a top 5 pick.
Yeah,
You
but see,
never
the
know.
the
You
bad
never
part for
know.
DJ is DJ actually played a lot, and he didn't look that
Yeah,
great when he
and
played.
it looked
So,
like me out there. I could do that.
oh man, you are you something else.
But yeah, bias pick. It's do or die for LSU. I don't want to get too far off topic here because this is about Notre Dame and Ohio State. But it's do or die for LSU. But we'll save that for. I have a question though. Do you think? Do you think? Do you think LSU sitting there like was Brian Kelly the problem, or is he the problem? Because
Um, I don't think so.
although he took them there, he couldn't win the big games, and
Different circumstances.
I wouldn't say it transitioned to LSU because let me pump the brakes here for a second. But I want to see what he does next year with Nussmeier. If he can somehow turn Nussmeier into a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback like he did with Jaden Daniels,
He won't.
maybe it's not Brian Kelly. I don't know. People said Jaden Daniels sucked. Look at him.
Nah,
That
he
man.
really he did he really didn't though. He was actually good his 2 seasons at LSU. Y'all's defense was just bad.
So that's my thing. Imagine if we'd have had a defense, but I don't want to take a top away from Notre Dame and Ohio State, but
I
um,
mean, I feel like we kind of finished with them. We're really getting more into an early look at next season, so it's kind of fair. I'm just not. Uh, like you said, I don't think it was
the
different. There was
weight
different
of the world
circumstances.
is probably on DeBoer's shoulders right now.
I
He
think he's
has.
okay.
I don't. I don't. I really don't. I know you don't
Why?
want to hear that. What do you mean? Why? They lost 4 games. When was the last time Alabama lost 4 games? 20 years ago.
Dog, it's his first season. Nick
And
Saban
that
went
doesn't
7-6 to hit. Yes, it does. I don't care what you
stop
say.
saying that.
Yes, it
Nick
does.
Saban is no longer in this
Nick
picture.
Saban went 7-6 in his first. Most coaches don't even win
Yeah,
9 games in their first season.
1989 he went 7-6. This is 2025. This is Alabama football, the dynasty, the greatest team to step on the field. They are not going to let somebody come in here and lose 4 games. That ain't happening.
He- he-
If he loses 4 games, he might get fired.
no, he
I
will
can tell
not,
you that right
bro. That is insane.
now. I'm just telling you how it is. Look at Brian
Nah,
Kelly. Look at Brian Kelly.
Brian
He's
Kelly
had
is going on 3 straight seasons of 8-5, and he's still at LSU. So what are you trying to
That's
say,
what I'm saying. He's on the chopping block.
man? Stop all that.
Huh?
These
Huh?
are good coaches we're talking about. This guy is fresh
Might
off
be.
a national championship appearance, and he comes in and takes over
Yeah.
for one of the greatest coaches, and he
He's
goes,
also coming off of a 4 loss season where they crumbled at the end of the year.
"Yeah,
But
they did." I mean, it's can't take nothing away from
you
him.
could point the finger at Milrow a little bit because he kind of fell off there at the end. I'm not really sure what was happening there. So you'll see. You're going to get a great taste of maybe they were trying to run an offense that Milrow just couldn't. Maybe they were
I
trying to
guess we'll
ask
find
too
out.
much of him. So yeah, I mean, yeah, you're going to find out. You're going to find out real quick too, because who do y'all open in now?
Florida State.
Y'all open against Florida State. They suck. They might not.
Oh, no,
They
they've
lost a
been picking
lot.
good recruits.
Well, it can't be no worse than what they just dealt with.
Yeah, they were pretty
So
bad.
it can't be any worse. But the first game you got to take it with a grain of salt because you don't really know. You got young people, you got transfers, you got a quarterback that you're bringing. Either you're starting a new quarterback or you're bringing somebody in that's never played in the system before. You don't even know who the starting quarterback is.
Well, I mean, Todd Simpson's already played. He has the most experience with the system. Austin Mack has technically experience with the system because they got the most practice in. The only person who's got to come in, which he's already there right now, is Keelan Russell. And everybody's pretty big.
Y'all didn't offer Quinn Ewers, or I mean, not Quinn Ewers. Y'all didn't offer Carson Beck enough money because apparently he got some calls.
Yeah, but I
He
really
wanted
feel
$10
like
million. Alabama ain't doing that.
I really felt like he was gonna go to Miami no matter what, because that's where his girlfriend is.
So, but you know the weight's on DeBoer. I know it is. I know when they got beat by Michigan, that game didn't count for the fan. It's the fan aspect. We just
That's why I
produced a
said,
Heisman Trophy winning quarterback and first round receivers, and people are acting like, well, LSU sucks. Well, yeah, we don't suck, but we crumbled when we didn't need to.
yep. Like I said, it's a fan aspect kind of thing, and obviously,
If you lose 2 games, they're coming for you. The moment he lost to Notre Dame, or not Notre Dame, the moment he lost to Vandy, I bet that whole car ride home was like, man, I just
oh
lost to
man,
Vanderbilt.
it the fan base erupted when they lost to Vanderbilt.
Oh yeah,
I'll
dog.
just say that.
Yeah, I bet they did because you were
So
the number one team and got beat by an unranked
what's really
Vandy
funny
team.
is, Alabama loses a lot of times when they get that number one ranking to an unranked team. Because you remember back in 2021, they got to the number one ranking and they ended up losing to unranked Texas A&M.
Mm-hmm.
They've done that I'd say like a handful of times. They were number one and lost to an unranked team.
Yeah, but you could argue Vandy actually turned around and had a pretty good season. Yes, they finished not the greatest, but they beat Alabama. They hung in there with Texas. I mean,
They
they
beat
beat
Auburn.
Auburn. They beat Auburn. I mean, they hung in there with some really good teams. I think the Oklahoma loss stunned people too because they were terrible.
Oh, it was awful.
But
We'll see. We'll see. I'm still waiting on the board to go hire Ryan Grubb, and he still hasn't done that yet. So
yeah,
I'm kind of nervous
there
about
are
that
some
because I
question
just
marks. So
is the Nick Sheridan offense legit? Was it just Milrow and he couldn't run the offense like you said? We'll find
yeah,
out.
you don't know. Yeah, you don't know. I know LSU is looking for a couple coordinators, so I'm interested to see how that's going to go.
Y'all can have Nick Sheridan.
Like I said, no. Like I said, it's do or die for Brian Kelly, and you can tell that it is. Look at dog. I ain't no telling how much money they spent. They probably spent 20 million themselves.
Yeah, y'all
So
loaded up, but the thing,
they
the way
brought
that
in a lot of players.
y'all loaded up on guys that don't have like big names. So I think y'all are gonna look to feature these guys and show the teams that they came from that they made a mistake letting them go.
Yeah, I mean, well, you got to think you're taking. All right, so Nick Anderson from Oklahoma, uh, the tight end from Oklahoma, the guy from Kentucky, they're going to thrive in LSU's offense because Nussmeier throws it 40, 50 times a game. He's going to spread the ball around.
Yeah.
I think offensively, I think it's there. I think we're going to be able to compete with anybody. Now, it's again, we're sitting in the same spot that we were last year. Can the defense get better? We brought in some big name guys. I wouldn't say big name guys, but we brought in some premier guys. from surrounding schools. Hopefully, Whit Weeks should be fine by the time the season starts. Harold
Yeah.
Perkins is coming back. We brought in some pass rushers. We brought in some safety help. We brought in some corner help. I think it's boom or bust, like I said. Either this works or Brian Kelly's fired.
So basically, you're
If he
saying
loses 4 games, he's done.
he
We'll
basically
move
has to
on.
make the playoffs.
Yeah, I'd say so. I say if you make it, that's fine, but you have to make it.
Yeah.
But that's going to come with he has not won an opening game since he's been here, and we play Clemson right off the bat. So
I think the only way they get rid of DeBoer is if they have the worst start to the season possible.
you talking about Brian Kelly or
No, I'm talking about DeBoer. That's the
oh
only way they get rid of DeBoer is if he
they
just
come out and lose to Florida State?
let's say he stumbles to like a 2-4 start or something crazy like that. I think they'll more than likely part ways.
Yeah, it's like you said. Alabama's offense is question marks because you know you don't know who the quarterback is coming in, so that's tough. You don't know who the star. I would like you said. If I had to put my money on it, it would be Ty Simpson. He's been there. Obviously, he was Milrose's backup. You kind of seen what he could do a little bit. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
All I know is we're going to beat y'all on November 9th. So
You said that last year.
probably 45-10.
You said that last year. And what happened?
Yeah, well, we don't. That's the past. We're talking about now.
You talked about it for months how LSU was going to throw out on Alabama, and what
I'd
happened?
have fired Brian Kelly right there. I'd have fired. I swear to God, I'd have came down if I'd have been the whatever the college person is. I'd have came
Athletic
down from the
director.
stands and the athletic director. And I'd have fired the defensive coordinator right there, middle of the game, halftime. He'd have been fired. You had 2 weeks to prepare. We just got torched by Texas. I knew as soon as that Texas A&M game ended, I was like, oh my God, I can't imagine what Milrose fixing to do. And what he do? Ran all over us. You had 2 weeks to prepare, and we got torched.
That's
Couldn't stop him.
tough.
He ran all over us. Y'all couldn't even beat Vandy or Oklahoma. We clapped both of them.
Well,
At least we won our bowl game. I don't know. Big things. Big things. You
who
know,
finished with? Was it the same? I think it was the same. Was it?
uh,
I don't know. Y'all
we
either finished
lost
8-5 or
3 in a
9-4.
row. No, we made a run there at the end.
I know for sure y'all lost 4 games
We
because you
lost
got
to
a
Alabama A&M. Yeah, so we lost the
USC
first game. USC. Yeah, so we were what 8-4, 9-4, 8 and
9-4.
4. Yeah, 9-4. It was there. It was the Texas A&M loss. We got exposed in that Texas A&M loss. If that didn't happen, if that doesn't happen, I think we make a run.
Yeah.
I really think if we don't get beat by Texas A&M, like let's just say hypothetically, they never put Marcel Reed in. They stuck it out with Connor Wigman. We
Y'all would have
don't
blown
lose that game. You know, maybe we didn't get. Maybe we don't get exposed. But I
Nah,
don't know if
y'all
we.
still would
I
have
don't know if
lost
we
to
do.
y'all still would have lost to Alabama. They would have came out with the same
Well,
game plan.
I don't know if they would have or not.
Yeah, the same game plan that killed y'all last year. Y'all couldn't stop Milroe from running the ball last year. Of course they're gonna come out and
It
do the same
showed that
thing.
our defense couldn't stop that. So obviously that was Alabama's game plan. As soon as they watched that tape, they were like, "Oh, okay, this is simple. We're just going to
That was
run the ball with
Alabama's
Milroe."
game plan against. That was Alabama's game plan at every game of the season. What are you talking about? It just happened to work
Now the
against y'all.
Florida loss, I'm taking that with a grain of salt because I really think I really think we caught a hot Florida team. They
You
were
can't
playing
take
pretty
that with a
good
grain of
there
salt.
towards the back end of the year.
Y'all just
But
lost.
yeah,
A
that was
loss is a
three huge
loss.
losses in a row that we couldn't afford to take.
Exactly.
But that's neither here nor there. That's the past. We got to live from it, learn from it. So
Well,
it's on to this year, and if Brian Kelly does not make the playoffs, he will be fired. I'll be the first to tell you.
we get to look forward to another college football season and reflect on the season past. So,
Yeah,
that's pretty much all I got.
yeah, that's pretty much all I got too.
Well, that'll do it for us here on this episode.
Yeah, that'll do it for the
Before
2024 college football season too.
Yep, yep. Before we get out of here, though, on our YouTube videos, just for the foreseeable future, they're going to be just a little bit different than what they normally look like because
Oh,
the
the
video
whole ban.
editing, yeah, the video editing that we use got banned. So I've been having to pick up. I've had to pick up another video editor, and I'm trying to figure it out a little bit because it's not
Yeah,
exactly the same as the one I was using. I was comfortable with that one, so it's just a little bit of tweaking around and figuring some stuff out that I got to do before I can get it back to where it actually already was. All the
right.
content, like the meat of the episode, is still the same. The only thing that's different is there's no intro and there's no
Oh man, yeah, I didn't think
social
about
media
that.
tags.
We're gonna
Yeah,
have
don't
to
have
go
any
back
social media
and
tags at the end.
we're gonna have to go back and recreate that intro. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, so that's. I mean, I'll get that situated in the meantime. But just for right now, it's just. I say for like the next couple episodes, we'll probably have just like
Yeah,
the meat of the episode. No intro, no tags. So just bear with us. We'll get that situated. Should be slight fix. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this episode, and we'll catch you on the next one.